Hey there. We're back at Box Office Buddies. It's been a little while. I tried doing a review with my sister a few weeks ago. It did not work out.
Didn't go as planned.
And got those issues fixed. We're back. I'm here with T. And we are talking about a movie that I have wanted to see for more than 10 years. Yes, Motherless Brooklyn. This stars my favorite actor, Ed Norton. He also wrote it, directed it. This is like his baby. It's a passion project of his. He's wanted to make this movie for 20 years now. Just to give you a little bit of a backstory, this is like one of those detective crime dramas. A film noir, if you will, takes place in 1950s New York City. And a detective, not a police detective, but a private detective.
Private eye, yeah.
He has Tourette's, which you don't see very often in a movie, and he loses his only friend, his boss, and he wants to figure out who did it. So that's the basis of it. Anything you want to add or share with everyone here watching this, how you felt about it?
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much the premise of it. Edward Norton shockingly does a phenomenal job. The acting is unbelievable. I don't know about you, but at the beginning, the first scene, I thought that the Tourette's would kind of get in the way of the story, but it didn't. It really built onto it, and it...
I'm going to get into that as a complaint, but yeah.
Okay, well, I enjoyed it. I thought it would be too much, but I thought he did a really good job of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. This movie, like I said, I wanted to see it for like 10 years now. It's been in the making for literally... Well, he started writing it 20 years ago, but he's tried to get this project off the ground for over 10 years now. And is it worth the 10-year wait? Did the build-up, the anticipation? No. But there still is a lot of positive that I want to get into. And the number one thing, for sure, is the acting. I am a bit biased on that because he is my favorite actor.
Okay, but you're not wrong either.
But if you see this, you'll understand why. He's brilliant. And, he really does portray the Tourette's well. It's not over the top, except for maybe that first scene.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he wanted to kind of establish what was going on or something. After that first scene, it tones down a bit.
Yeah.
And there's even this one moment where, like, there was 5 to 10 minutes straight of the movie where he doesn't have any kind of tick or outburst or anything. And that was one of the things that bothered me. I felt like, oh, maybe when it gets too dramatic or when they want a serious moment, it doesn't come out enough. Because they want to create more tension and drama. Because it is distracting, which is good in the sense that it shows you what it's like.
Too.
Yeah.
It's like it really builds the character, and he explains like the Tourette's and when it affects him and how it affects him and like the way, because what I thought was super interesting is he never refers to it as Tourette's because back in the 50s there was no name for it.
It was not diagnosed, yeah.
Exactly. So he just like explains it as a part of his brain that is a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
But in terms of his acting, I thought it was great. I do agree that there are times where it kind of dipped off and you're like, oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
The directing, I also thought he did a really good job.
He did a good job. It wasn't my favorite piece of direction, but yes, he did a good job with that. The writing was good too. I never read the book. This is based off a novel, which he absolutely loved. Interestingly enough, the way that this whole movie came about, the reason he wrote this movie is because he's so passionate about acting that he read this book. He's like, I need to play this part. And so he took on the project himself because he didn't want any other actor having it. So he's like, I need to buy this, the rights to this. I need to make this movie. He even says, he's like, I was a selfish actor and I wanted this role for myself. The other actors too did a good job. You've got your Alec Baldwin, Bruce Willis, a newcomer too. I really enjoyed her, Mbatha-Raw, and Yeah, Leslie Mann as well, and Ethan Suplee, who was with him in American History X.
Yeah, I enjoyed that little.
Another fun fact: he got all the lead cast to do this for free, because he wanted to make the movie. He didn't really have the budget for it, so he just got a bunch of people who liked the project too and wanted to. Yeah, so
I did not know that.
Yeah, he this really was his baby, and because he's my favorite actor, I don't want to say too much in terms of negative criticism, but I do have some. It wasn't the most exciting story to me, and the payoff was weak, really weak to me. But
I was expecting something a little bit more grandiose.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, you know what? We went to the late showing, and I saw that it was a 2.5 hour movie, and that I was like, I thought I would fall asleep halfway through, but I didn't. It did keep me intrigued. Maybe not as much as I would have wanted to be at the very end, though.
Right. This isn't a Usual Suspects ending or anything like that. But it still did keep me invested the whole way through. I think most of that was the acting, but it was well enough paced, and the screenplay was good too.
Well, yeah, and what drove the movie, like you just said, was his acting. Like, was the character himself. That was that to me was what was enjoyable about it. Like the storyline, like you said, it was okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I found a lot of the times when I was really interested in the movie, it wasn't even a point where it's bringing the story forward and he's trying to solve the mystery. It's just seeing him interact with a certain person, and that's what I really enjoyed watching. It's like, oh, how's he going to interact with this person? And it's not necessarily about the story all the time.
Yeah, and like it's interesting you talk about the way he interacted with people, because I actually really enjoyed every character's interaction with him. Everyone was different in how they would react to him, and I thought that was really interesting too, though.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it was more of a character piece than it was about the story itself, which in a way is disappointing because I would have wanted more of a story, but I still really enjoyed it for what it was.
For whatever reason, this story really stood out to him, and
well, he just wanted to play a detective with Tourette's, but no, he did great. Best actor, I'm telling you. 3 Oscar nominations. He will get a 4th for this one. Prediction right there. Again, he'll have 4 nominations, no wins, because the win is going to go to Joaquin, which well deserved too. But
I was gonna say, I don't know if I'll remember it in 10 years, but I'll remember his performance.
See, I find it really interesting that you said that, because I think it's one of those movies that in 10 years there's going to be some things that are really memorable that people are going to go back and say, like, oh, this is better than I thought it would be. Yeah, sort of thing. Like, just even little moments, little scenes, like him lighting a cigarette for a girl, and it's just little things that you're gonna see. I think they're gonna stick over time, and this movie might actually age well. This isn't a mockery of Tourette's. It actually, I think, brings a lot of understanding to it, and I really like the fact that you see that, yes, he has this condition, but on the flip side, he's very intelligent.
Well, yeah,
he has like a photographic memory.
It's like a gift.
Yeah, so you see like the negative, but also the positive, and he's a really, really interesting character.
I actually listened to a podcast, and he was on the podcast recently, and he was talking about this passion project of his, and he was talking about how the things that he chooses to do are very particular, and he doesn't want to spread himself everywhere. He just wants like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because when you watch an Edward Norton performance, you want more. But like he's
except for Marvel, apparently they cast him once and they were like, no, we prefer Mark Ruffalo. This is one of the reasons, not the reason, one of the reasons I cannot stand Marvel. Ed Norton for Mark Ruffalo. Oh my gosh.
Same.
Oh my gosh. Whatever. So what were you saying? He wants a little bit of... Yeah. He really is diverse in what he does, and check out his work. Yeah. I mean, Fight Club, American History X, Illusionists, Birdman, Moonrise Kingdom. I could go on and on and on.
I forgot about Birdman. Good stuff.
Yeah, he's amazing. If we're going to put this on a scale of Marvel and The Matrix, Marvel, the garbage that replaces Ed Norton with Mark Ruffalo. Matrix, which recognizes awesomeness like Keanu. Where would you put this?
I don't know. I guess just because of the setting and whatever, I kind of have like a Gangs of New York kind of vibe.
Wow. Okay. In thinking of a movie that was 10 years in the making and let me down in terms of my expectations, I'm thinking Boyhood. I thought this was a bit better than Boyhood, but Boyhood was still a good movie, just not what...
Nope.
You thought it was that bad?
I hated it.
Okay, well, I think Boyhood still had a lot of redeeming qualities.
This was way better.
Yeah, this is the same thing. Good movie, not amazing to me.
Yeah.
But I do think that more than Boyhood, this will have a lasting quality to it, and I think it will age well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. I think it's worth checking out if you're into this sort of movie. If you're a fan of film noir, if you're a fan of good acting, if you're a fan of slow-paced, just watching a character interact with other characters and develop, is worth checking out. So yeah. Thanks for doing it. Subscribe to the channel. We'll get some more content out now that the technical issues are fixed. Like this video, share it around, especially if you feel that this is an issue that people need to know more about. I think people should have more exposure to something like Tourette's and understand what it's really like and understand what sort of people have it and how they deal with it. It's a really interesting movie for that. And a lot of people think of Tourette's as just a stereotype, just someone who swears all the time. That's not what this is, and it's not what he portrays at all.
Yeah.
And
hashtag support Ed.
There you go. So we'll be seeing you soon, and until then, enjoy your time at the movies.